we got a chance to speak to Jake Gyllenhaal and Dar Salim, the stars of the brand new Guy Ritchie movie, The Covenant.
This is such a pleasure. I think one of the things I loved most about the film, with its controlled and clipped speech and the idea of deed over dialogue, was that it kind of reminded me of an old school Western. And I wasn't sure if that was always the point or just a happy coincidence.
It was the directive about 10 days in. We realized what we were making. I think that's the kind of extraordinary Guy Ritchie experience is he says, we're going to go find it. We're going to go into this adventure together. And about 10 days in is when we realized, oh, we're making a Western. It showed itself to us. And that's what Guy
Very cool.
always says. Yeah, he's like, it will show itself to you. So it showed itself to us as that. And and that was where we went.
Oh, that's great because, I think the second half of the trailer kind of misled me into this movie because I thought it was going to be one man against the Taliban. And I'm glad it wasn't.
No,
it
not
feels really real.
Yeah, I mean it does. That's the strength of the film. It's a wonderful action film, a huge cinema that only Guy Ritchie can like orchestra, and you're like sitting like this the whole time, and you're hoping for the best. But then it has this real heart, it has this real
Yes.
heart, this like true emotion of two men from different cultures choosing to help each other and doing the right thing, and you see all the things that unite us more than things that divide us. And then you have this style that you talk about, which is very unsentimental. Which I love as
Yes.
an audience as well. Like it's instead of shoving emotions down people's throats, you do it more like we do in real life. We hold them back, and we cry despite of ourselves. We laugh even though we don't. We try not to laugh, and it just comes out through the cracks. And it's kind of, as you call it, a Western thing. And once we found that, it was just joyful to play around with.
Oh, superb. Dar, tell me this. I was looking over your biography and your eventful life. And I'm sure you bring parts of that to every role. But I was wondering about this role. And could you talk to me about this want of something better and then at the same time leaving something that you love so much?
As you say, you bring yourself into all the roles, and it's never like one to one. If you have a kid, you play a dad. You think of it. It's not that. That's not how it works. It's much more complex, and sometimes you don't even. I don't even understand what it is I'm bringing or where it comes from. You just have to kind of let yourself go in and immerse yourself into it and allow it to happen and trust the process that it is inside you. But I can answer you like intellectually. I'm very proud of the fact that you can portray a man that is, as my parents' generation came as refugees to Europe, started from scratch, lost everything in their lives. To portray a man like that as a man that you can identify with as a European, as an American, lose the stereotypes and present to the world a real man that you can identify with and that you can mirror in the wonderful character that Jake plays, and at the end of the day show that how much we have in common as human beings. That was for me a huge privilege to be able to portray the Afghan people, the Middle Eastern people in that fashion.
Jake, I've got like 45 seconds, but looking back on your filmography, you've worked with such distinct talents and once-in-a-generation minds: Bong Joon-ho, Michael Bay, Fuqua, Denis Villeneuve. Guy Ritchie, this is the first time you're working with him. What was that like, and was that any different? Because he's got some really distinct films.
Oh, they're all different. I mean, they are all distinct, which is what makes them greats, And I think you're in the mind of their mind, you're in their mind. That's what it's about. And I love Guy's movies, and I've known him as just a friend or as a, human to human, not artist to artist for many years, and have wanted to work with him. And it was no surprise to me that something energetically between the two of us connected when we first met as people, and we brought that into the creative process. It was just so open and vulnerable, and also I hesitate saying collaborative because he's really the leader, but it was collaborative, and he threw things at me that challenged me as an actor in ways that kind of woke me up and brought me alive. And there are times he would hand me a monologue and say, we have 10 minutes, and I love a challenge like that. Some actors would just hate it or whatever. I was like, that's what I'm here. I'm here in his mind, his world, his technique, his process. And I loved it. I loved it.
Fantastic. Well, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. The both of you are great. There is such a natural chemistry, and I really enjoyed the movie. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
I am going to get that man and his family out.
You can catch The Covenant in Malaysian cinemas on Thursday, April 27th. Let us know what you think once you've seen it. Also, sound off in the comments. Like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends, tell your family about us. You know what to do.